Right.
I don't think I mean, even like with, Fed unseating Ben, and Fed's the new number one, but like everybody who watches a little bit of pickleball doesn't buy that for a second, like maybe in points, but nobody really cares about it. Like, good for Fed. Congratulations, Fed. But like, it just lacks
he's the
that.
best singles player in the world. He's the best.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that. So
Fed is?
Do you think that's a
let's
legit
hear it.
world number one?
Yeah, because I agree with you. If they went head to head purely him against Ben, I think Ben has a winning record and Ben will maintain.
Yeah, I think it's 9-2.
Yeah, that's fair. But that's a purely a matchup based issue.
Isn't that what it should be? Like, if you're trying to figure out who's the...
No, not necessarily, because if Federico doesn't lose to the players that Ben loses to, then he's, harder to beat to other players.
Mm-hmm.
So he has, a different set of skills that makes him maybe more challenging for a player like Connor Garnett or whomever. And I'm just throwing that about. I know Connor just beat him in the finals of LA. But I think that his consistency has showcased that, he's not taking L's in the quarters. He's not taking L's in the round of 16. Like, the guy week after week has been final. It's pretty crazy. 9 straight weeks.
He has 9 straight finals.
Yeah, that's like, I don't understand how you can make the case right now that he's not the best singles player in the world. Now, with that said, if they're playing one match and it was him or Ben and I have to choose, I take Ben.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt. But if I have to take 32 players and pick who's going to the final, I take Fed.
Yeah, no, that's the same. I agree with you there. Like, I think Fed is just so consistent. Fed never loses a match to probably anybody outside of the top 5, and he rarely loses a match to the people in the top 5.
Right.
So
and I think even in the finals, he's had, he shouldn't have lost to Dylan when he lost in the Masters. He shouldn't have lost to Connor when he lost in LA. Like, he's had losses that he shouldn't have taken in the final. Call it a mental block, getting a little tight, whatever. But when I watch him, it's like, dude, that's a tough out, especially with a new paddle. Like, tough out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, interesting stat here. So he's 2-9 against Ben, 6-2 against Tyson, but has won the last 3 meetings. 5-22 against J-Dub.
Whoa.
But obviously that's going back.
Dude, like, he lost like the first 14 to him.
Right. So that's going to be going back for a while. But yeah.
I mean, I won the first match against Fed, Punta Gorda.
Attaboy. Number one head to head. Are you still head to head? Positive?
Hell no. I've played like 5 times in a row after, lost every time.
So far in singles, he's 38-5 and has made every singles final. His rating at the start of 2024 was 7.045, and he's now at 7.194, the number one duper as well. So he's got the number one rating of any singles player on top of that, which
that sounds fair.
So I think Travis and I are in agreement that he's a legit number one, but I think Ben, as you mentioned, in a head-to-head is probably a slight favorite in that matchup.
Yeah, I agree. And I don't know if that'll stay that way for long. Like, I still think Ben has more of a glaring weakness than Fed. But
which is what?
He doesn't have a backhand pass. He's
Fed is a little more dynamic. Like, Ben, if he passes 2 hands, he goes line almost every time. Fed can kind of roll a 2-way cross.
Right.
Makes it more challenging.
Mm-hmm.
And he moves better.
Interesting. Okay.
He moves better, but do you think he covers better than Ben?
Not at the net. I mean, Ben's unique in that he's actually I don't think he's a great mover, but he's super efficient and blankets the net really well. But Fed at the baseline, like,
yeah,
the guy moves so well.
So Fed is probably a better scorer. Ben is a better defender.
Sure, I could give you that.
Yeah, so it's probably the best defense versus the best offense in pickleball, if I had to guess that matchup.
Yeah, I'd wager that. That's a good call.
Say it like that again.
Tifosi.
Do you know what? One more time.
Tifosi.
You know what that means? Tell the people what that means.
So Tifosi is the Italian word for superfan, and that is exactly who they make their eyewear for.
And all this talk about the crazy paddles, eyewear, more important than ever.
I think yours is they're probably slightly better suited than mine.
Yours are for styling around.
Great. I'm about to go to Italy on my honeymoon, and you're not getting these back.
Me,
Tifosi.
I feel like maybe I'm either blind or the Terminator, but on the court, I think these are exactly what you would need. Do you think that if these paddles don't slow down a little bit, that eyewear is just going to be like, you got to wear eyewear? Like, what if they get even faster? This is a total tangent.
Oh boy, if they get faster, we're in trouble. I mean, you can already tell like how many like more people are wearing eyewear now compared to last year. Like I think Anna Lee was like the only one who was wearing eyewear last year, and now like probably at least a third of the tour is. So yeah, it's gonna be I could almost see it being like the helmet in football. Like it could be required at the pro game at some point.
Well, Tifosi Glide technology allows the frame to slide on comfortably and provide an anti-bounce fit. Is that anti-bounce? Did I say that right? With an integral hinge ensuring these sunglasses slide on easily without pulling your hair, which is an issue for you, obviously.
Nah, my hair, look, your hair is all like flowy and
you got like a fade going.
It's not gonna pull against a fade. It would pull against that.
Yeah, correct. Crafted from shatterproof polycarbonate, these lenses not only reduce glare, but also offer scratch resistance, ensuring unparalleled eye protection. Hydrophilic rubber nose pads that increase grip the more you sweat, so glasses will stay secure during even the most intense activities. Now, that is where it would benefit you a little bit more, right?
Mm-hmm.
TifosiOptics.com. That's TIFOSI optics.com. All caps DINK 20% off. It is live now. Go to TifosiOptics.com and get your eyewear because the paddles are getting faster. You don't want to lose an eyeball.
So I'm stealing these.
They're yours, dude.
Oh, hell yeah. Sweet. Thank you, Tifosi. Let's go. I'm wearing these on the honeymoon.
All right. I texted you 3 different things that we wanted out of you. You sent back a response, but I'm going to ask them again so that people have context. What's one thing about pickleball that is a norm but drives you crazy, like something that's widely accepted but should not be? Zane, I want to hear your take too.
So I think the thing that I said is that there's, specificity on right left. I don't like the fact that certain players can have a certain rating, let's just say, but they play next to a guy on the left who's insane. And in my view, they're average. I think that it dumbs down the skill set that certain players should have. Even in tennis, like if you return on the right or the left, let's say forehand or backhand, you still have to serve, you still have to have all these alternative skills. You don't just get to do one thing. So that's one part that bothers me. I think Steve Kuhn had an awesome idea. I loved the idea. And we could maybe even see it a little bit with Ben played with Anna Bright in LA. They didn't have the best vibe on the court, let's just say. And he said that like 14 tournaments a year, you could have random partners. So one tournament I play with Zane, the next tournament I play with Thomas, the next tournament I play with Matt Wright. And we have to figure out who's playing right, who's playing left. You have to coordinate personalities. And therefore you find out legitimately who the best player is, not just who has the best partner or the best system, but legitimately like who is the best guy. And like I always use real clear stats on that, which favors me because my stats are always good. But if all things are created equal and we have the same partner in the same circumstance, then who's the best? I don't play next to J-Dub. J-Dub's really good. I don't play next to Ben. Ben's really good. Those alter the scales too much. So I don't think you really get to see like who the best players are.
Mm-hmm. So having some sort of, at least maybe a handful of tournaments where you have somewhat random partners and see how they can adapt. Yeah, MLP is the closest thing that we have to that, right?
Right, it's the closest thing we have, and I think you've done probably a better job than anyone in adapting to playing right, left, being alpha, being beta. Are you good in mixed? Are you a good singles player? Are you good with personalities? Which is another thing I've given Zane credit for. Like I think he's a really good partner. I think he's very capable of pulling the best out of the people he plays with. There's people who are really, really bad at that, and that's a skill that should be talked about. You have it in basketball. You have guys that lead teams, that lead squads, to get the best out of their players. I don't think we see that all the time. We see these like little clicks, and I think it would be more intriguing, have a lot more storylines if you have, Ben playing with Thomas Wilson one week, and then see how they do. Have Riley play with myself or with Zane, see how they do. That would be cool.
Yeah, I like that.
I like that sort of the good partner mentality. The guy who's like hype machine, keeps it positive, hypes you up. I played with Tropical in a tournament, and he's just like the best hype man of all time, right?
He's the man, dude. He was like the guy who hyped me up this, I think like the first or second APP I played, he followed me around all day in Grand Rapids and just hyped.
Yeah.
He was
just in your corner. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I commented on his In-N-Out shirt. That's all it took. I was like, In-N-Out, I love In-N-Out burger. And that was it. He followed me for the rest of the day.
Come on. Well, shout out. I haven't seen a lot from him lately.
He's funny, man.
I haven't seen a lot.
He's working. He's got a job.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, darling.